Warren Buffett, his worth over $138 billion, a number so large that it stops feeling real to most people. He could own private islands, super yachts, and mansions around the world without ever noticing the cost. Yet his life looks almost aggressively normal, and that contrast is the first clue most people completely miss. Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500 in Omaha, Nebraska, long before he became a household name. It's a 5-bedroom stucco house in a quiet neighborhood, now worth about $1.4 million. For almost anyone else, that sounds impressive, but for Buffett it's microscopic. That house represents roughly 0.01% of his total net worth, which is almost impossible to emotionally process. For someone worth $100,000, that would be like living in a house worth $1. This isn't modesty, it's deliberate financial positioning. Now contrast that with a 32-year-old real estate agent in Dallas earning $240,000 a year. He just bought a $1.2 million house that consumes most of his income and flexibility. On social media, he looks wildly successful. He drives a leased BMW with an $800 monthly payment, wears a Rolex he financed, and takes luxury vacations on credit. Every post signals success, confidence, and status. Behind the scenes, his net worth is negative. One of these men understands how money actually creates freedom over decades. The other has confused income with wealth and consumption with success. This single misunderstanding separates builders from performers. We are conditioned from childhood to believe that wealth means upgrading everything as fast as possible. Bigger homes, better cars, premium versions of ordinary life. The problem is that this belief quietly sabotages financial independence. Look at Mark Zuckerberg wearing the same gray t-shirt every day, or Steve Jobs in his black turtleneck. This wasn't laziness or lack of taste, it was intentional simplification. They eliminated trivial decisions to preserve mental energy. At extreme levels of success, time and focus become more valuable than money itself. Every unnecessary object, subscription, or upgrade demands attention. Luxury slowly converts clarity into complexity. This leads to a truth most people hate hearing. Luxury is friction. It adds maintenance, responsibility, and psychological drag to your life. Wealthy people minimize friction instead of maximizing appearance. The lifestyle you see celebrities living is not wealth, it's accelerated wealth destruction. According to Sports Illustrated, 78% of NFL players face bankruptcy or severe financial stress shortly after retirement. High income did not save them. Lottery winners experience the same outcome at shocking rates. Massive windfalls disappear because spending feels like progress and restraint feels unnecessary. Money without discipline self-destructs. To a consumer, money is a reward meant to be spent. To an investor, money is a tool meant to be deployed. One mindset consumes value, the other compounds it. Every dollar spent on luxury is a worker you fired before it produced anything. Every dollar invested is a worker hired to generate future income. Billionaires think in systems, not purchases. When Buffett looks at a $50,000 car, he doesn't see leather seats or horsepower. He sees millions of dollars that car will never become through compounding. The real price is invisible but enormous. Consumption feels cheap because it's paid monthly, but compounding measures cost in decades. A small upgrade today quietly erases future freedom. Time is the multiplier most people ignore. This is why efficiency beats extravagance among the ultra-wealthy. They protect time, energy, and focus like scarce assets. Excess is treated as a liability. A mansion is not just a home, it's a corporation. Staff, insurance, maintenance, and constant decisions drain attention. High-end living often costs 10% of its value every year. Smart money prefers assets that grow silently. Stocks don't leak, businesses don't need repainting, and ownership doesn't demand daily attention. Growth without effort is the real luxury. Private jets exist because they buy time, not status. A Ferrari stuck in traffic buys attention, not leverage. Tools increase output, toes increase drag. Social media has magnified lifestyle pressure to an extreme. You're no longer comparing yourself to neighbors, but to global highlight reels funded by debt. This comparison is psychologically expensive. Status signaling is a game with no finish line. There is always someone richer, louder, and more extreme. Billionaires opt out because the game is unwinnable. By refusing to operate, they maintain a massive gap between income and expenses. That gap creates resilience, optionality, and power. It's the engine behind real freedom. High income with high expenses is fragile. High income with low expenses is antifragile. One collapses under stress, the other grows stronger. Real wealth is quiet. Rich screams, wealth whispers. Loud lifestyles usually hide insecurity and dependence on validation. Looking normal is strategic camouflage. It protects against scammers, lawsuits, and fake relationships. Stability beats attention. Two identical careers can produce radically different outcomes. The difference isn't talent or luck, it's savings rate. What you keep matters more than what you earn. Spending raises feels natural and rewarding. Investing raises builds exit options and freedom. One creates lifestyle, the other creates leverage. Happiness adapts faster than expenses, the pleasure fades quickly, but the bills remain permanently. Billionaires understand this adaptation trap intuitively. Modesty was not a consequence of wealth, it was the cause of it. Buffett's house wasn't restraint, it was leverage compounding quietly for decades. Savings rate predicts wealth better than income ever will. Control spending, and income finally works for you instead of against you. Define your enough lifestyle and freeze it. Let income rise while expenses stay flat. This single rule changes everything. Automate investments before lifestyle inflation touches the money. You can't spend money you never see. Discipline beats motivation. Calculate upgrades using opportunity cost, not emotions. Multiply a monthly expense by 173 to see its 10-year impact. Reality kills impulse. Audit ego spending honestly. Ask whether you'd buy it without an audience. If not, it's marketing, not utility. Curate your environment aggressively. Inputs shape behavior. Behavior shapes wealth. Choose carefully. The Dallas agent looks rich but is trapped by fixed costs. Buffett looks ordinary but owns his time. That contrast defines success. Freedom is not owning things, it's owning options. Low expenses create optionality. Optionality creates peace. Delay one upgrade this year. Invest the difference instead. Watch what grows faster, ego or equity. Once you feel the power of ownership, consumption loses its grip. You stop performing and start building. In a world obsessed with upgrades, restraint becomes a superpower. Saying no compounds silently. Wealth is built in the gap between income and expenses. Protect the gap and it protects you. Wealth is built in the gap between income and expenses. Protect the gap and it protects you. The upgrade illusion tells you more will fix everything. Reality says enough is freedom. Buffett didn't win by spending less once. He won by refusing lifestyle inflation for decades. Time did the rest. This isn't about deprivation, it's about direction. Every dollar has a job. Choose wisely. The loudest people in the room are rarely the wealthiest. Silence usually means strength. Looking wealthy is expensive. Being wealthy is efficient. Only one scales. In a culture selling upgrades, choosing enough is rebellion, and rebellion compounds. Build instead of consume, invest the difference, and let time work for you. If this changed how you see lifestyle upgrades, subscribe and hit like so more people escape the illusion.